with the weak drink.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 9 Planet Xbox podcast. I am your host, the best spot, Kid Smooth. We're gonna have a quick show today. Phil Spencer just had an interview with Ryan McCaffrey. I actually thought this was going to be an April Fool's joke, but it turned out to be legit. And we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Call of Duty's exclusive PlayStation 4 release. They're still doing bullshit like that, and all other things related to Xbox and some a bit PlayStation. Since we got Chris Righteous in the building, as always. But with that being said, let's get into the show. We're gonna start with intros. We're gonna start with the resident pony in the house, Chris Righteous. How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, I'm doing great. Hope everybody's doing great, being safe, keeping clean. It's gonna, like Kismu said, it's gonna be a quick show, but we got some good topics to talk about. And I want to make a quick announcement, man. Like, I wanted to get more involved with Planet Xbox and be involved, more with the boys. So, yep, I got me an Xbox One X.
Wait, when did you do that?
Whoa, baby, what?
Hold on. Listen. I got me an Xbox One. I got me an Xbox One X. I got Game Pass, and I resigned all my slander. It is a great service. The fact that I can buy it and not pay for any games, bro. Like,
I want you to repeat
Yo,
yourself
hold on,
again.
Chris, hold on.
Say it again.
Hold up, Chris. Hold on. Clear your throat right quick. Drink a glass of water. Let's hear it. You did
yeah,
what?
man. I wanted to get more involved with the podcast.
I want you, Kiss Move. I want you to clip this. Clip this. All right?
Hey, hold on. But before that, what day is it today?
Today, fuck you. Wow.
You let him get you.
Wow. I don't know why. You know what the crazy? Yo,
You let him get you, bro.
Oh man.
I had to do it, bro. I had to do it.
That's all right. We're gonna make sure you beat Ori before this year.
Oh wow! No, I'm kind of tight now.
We're gonna mail you an Xbox Series
really
X day one, day uno.
Wow, nah, just for that, I'm mailing him a Series S. Fuck. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Chris. You've literally just changed the start of the show and changed it back in a matter of fucking 20 seconds. I was literally about to ask you like 5 questions.
That was a good joke, though.
Yeah, it was a good joke. Coke Boy J, man, how you doing?
Doing great. Just chilling, man. I got the extra 2 weeks of pay to stay home from my job, so
Nice.
hey, it's great.
Absolutely. And Def Grips, man, how's everything with you?
Hey, what's good, y'all? This your boy Def Grips. Shit, it's all good, bro. Like, shit, it's all good. Fuck it, shit, we gaming. Like, shit.
And Nick Banks, man. Nick Banks, how you doing? Yo, Nick Banks, before you go, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. The last 2 days, I think I'm truly now done with NBA Live, bro. I've been on. I lost. Yo,
Really?
It's to the point where I lost like 3 or 4 games. Like, and I don't understand. It's never happened to the type of whoopings I've been hit. Like, I lost. Tell me what I was up to, right? I was up to with like a couple seconds ago. I fouled because I couldn't stop the dude from scoring. I fouled him. He made his free throws, and I did an inbound pass. And you know how they do the default steals.
Oh,
The default
man.
still
like you
is
be doing to me.
Yeah,
Like,
and I had to foul
cheat
again.
sheet.
He scored, and I lost. And I lost the game. Like it hurt my feelings. But so I'm always open to play you, but I think I'm done like playing ranked matches. I already proved my point in that game. But how you doing, Nick Banks?
Oh man, I'm good, man. And you know what? I got to get back to NBA Live, but I finally finished Ori, man, and I gotta.
Congrats, man.
Oh man, that game! I see why everybody say it's amazing, man. You know, honestly, like if you notice, like the last one I didn't really get into as much as this one. I gotta say that it got me from the beginning. Like the first one, for some reason, it started off slow, but this one, like the abilities, all the all the abilities you get, and just the story itself, man, and how it ended. No spoilers, but yo, just fight through the beginning, Smooth. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You might. I know you're gonna rage, but I'm telling you, man, it's a good game.
You know, I here's the thing, right? I'm happy you got through it and whatnot. I still haven't beaten Ori. I've been playing Bleeding Edge. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Now, I have nothing against Ori. I from what I played, from what I see, I know it's a great game. But same with Blind Forest, with the Will-O-Wisp. It's these type of games, for some reason, we just don't work. I don't think I could play. It's not that I can't. You have to literally lock me in a room and give me access to no other video game, for me to get through it. Not because I think the story's bad or anything. It's just that the type of game it is. It's just it's the only Xbox game I can't freaking connect with. It's
but
the weird.
You know what? I heard what you said before, right? You said that it's the game where you got to figure out where to go.
Yeah.
And you get lost and I had the same issue. And I remember when you said it, I'm like, damn, I had the same problem. But it's the patience, man. You just gotta be in the mood to play.
But that's the problem. I don't have have patience, and then when it comes to video games and entertainment, I don't want to have to work. I want to be able to play and be entertained. You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel it though.
But the thing is, I know, and shout out to everybody that's got through the game and got to experience it. I'm sure I can do it. I'm gonna challenge myself to do it. I mean, a couple games were delayed, so I ain't like I'm gonna be like. I have nothing else really to look forward to. I'm not really messing with Resident Evil 3 like that.
Really?
Nah. I'm contemplating Final Fantasy, but
he didn't finish 2 though. So I mean, I figured that he wasn't gonna fuck with 3
first. Yeah.
And
you could probably wait on the third one too.
Yeah.
From what I hear, it's not as good as 2.
Yeah, it might go on Game Pass, bro. So.
But Chris, that's. Chris, I heard it received that same type of,
Yeah, it's the same way the same as that thing happened.
But I like the Resident Evil 3 back. I thought Nemesis was I don't know, man. That's just me.
I don't know. I've heard some of the complaints, but they're whack as fuck. I'd be like, bro, y'all it's they never played the original, or it's they're expecting one for one. Or they're it's just come on, I don't know, bro. This. I looked at too many reviews. Them James just sounded dumb as shit. So.
Okay.
And the only but yeah, so I'll find a way to return to it, and hopefully I can get through it. But I ain't gonna lie, I've been playing through Bleeding Edge a lot. I'm 2 achievements away from 100% completing it.
Really?
Yeah, I need to play
that's
as a healer.
Easy 100%.
Is it EG 100%?
How was the achievements? Tell me how one of them
get 50 kills. You gotta honestly, it's one of those games where you play. If you keep playing the game, you'll unlock everything. There's no there's no secret. I gotta work for this. The only reason why I'm struggling on the 2 achievements I do, because one. When I started playing Bleeding Edge, I kind of stuck with one character, and I like the character. It just so happens that character is an attacker. He's not a healer. And one of the achievements you got to get, you have to heal so many hit points. I think it's 200 or something. It's I forgot how much hit points you got to do, but that's the achievement. But you really the quickest way to get that is obviously you use healer, so the problem is that now. All these hours I got into the game, I've been using Nidhogger. I got to use one of the support characters to get that achievement, and then I got to win the. There's only 2 modes in Bleeding Edge. There's obviously capture the capture mode, and then there's this objective mode where you have to place the fucking. Oh my god, I can't think. Place the objects inside the control points. But I have a problem with it. It's my least favorite mode, and I haven't won many games in that particular mode. Most of my wins come from capture, the capture points. In this mode, I'm probably 5 and fucking 15. But I have to I think win a couple, not win those games, but I have to I have to complete the objective a couple more times. So I can do that in a losing attempt. I just have to do it a lot. and I'm sure I'll be able to do that this week. But once I complete that game, I'll probably move on to something else for the time being. But that's really been the game I've been playing. And Nick, you said you've been playing, or you just finished it. What about you, Death Grips?
Jesus, man. Like I just been doing
Division
doing the dailies and shit. Like doing the dailies, recalibrating my gear set. Like that I swear, like I be trying to jump into Outer Worlds, Ori's. I'm pretty far in that. Like shit, but it's just like when the dailies pop up, like that's my destiny is Division. Like I love the whole shebang. Like I'm just so invested in that shit. Like I spend like at least 10-16 hours a day. Like just
he do. Every time I see him, I'm like, God.
I forgot to mention. I ain't gonna lie. So I was just playing Bleeding Edge. I was actually playing Gears 5, the Operation Gridiron.
I was gonna ask you about that, but I thought it was a topic, so I was waiting.
That shit is dope.
So it's tight.
It's dope.
Yo, capture the flag. Touchdowns, but that joint, I'm not gonna.
I was like, okay, I can. Like, I was playing. I think me, Erica, and a couple of her people played.
Oh, you playing with Erica?
Yeah. When I play Gears, I typically play with them. We played maybe 3 hours. I played 3 hours yesterday. I streamed on. By the way, guys, I've been streaming on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch at KidSmooth89 on Twitch. I just became a Twitch affiliate, so you can sub there as well. It took me very, very quick to do that, so I'm proud of that. But yeah, I was streaming on Twitch, and the Capture the Flag. I had some amazing games. I like the concept. I like the concept. I like the maps that they added. I wish it becomes a mode for rank, because that could challenge King of the Hill. I love King of the Hill. King of the Hill is my favorite mode in Gears.
This mode is probably going to bring Gears back, man.
Yeah, if they throw it in rank, if they throw it in the rank, I think that would be.
Oh, it's not in rank.
It's not in rank. No, it's social.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm not a Gears, but that joint was. I had fun.
I had a ton of fun with that, because it's an objective, and the way that it works is like there's maybe how many each round is worth 2 points, right? And you could win obviously by killing everybody on the opposing team, and there's no respawns, of course. So you kill everybody on the opposing team, you can win that way, or you can capture the flag and hold it into the end, throw it, obviously bring it to the end zone, and you got to stay there for like a couple seconds before the meter fills up and you win that round. So you can either win by killing everybody on the opposing team or scoring a touchdown. And it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. There's been games like I'm gonna download probably the clip and upload it to YouTube. But I had a ton of fun last night playing that, and right now I'm thinking about it. Had not been for Bad Boys, because me and my wife is gonna be watching Bad Boys after this podcast, I would have been contemplating, damn, do I play Gears 5 for Gridiron, or do I go to Bleeding Edge and try to get these last two achievements? Because those are the games I've been playing though. But my bad.
Yeah, I've been playing. I'm still playing Nioh 2. I haven't beat it. That game is mad. Yo, Kid Smooth, you smart not to take any challenges on that. Because that game, if they would have give you like a 50-hour challenge, you would not be close to beating it. That game is super long, bro.
Yeah, I can't mess with that game.
I got faith in Smooth, man. But,
now, see, I'm not afraid that I can't beat
monster.
it. It's just I don't want to play I don't want to challenge in an uber long game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, Nioh just got a lot more boss. If it's like the first one, I played the first one. I haven't played the second one, but the first one had 40 bosses, I think. It was around about 35, 40 bosses.
I'm close to like 90 hours, and I'm near the end. I still got a couple missions to go, but yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of side missions, but you have to do the side missions in order to level up, because because once you like the story missions are usually like five levels ahead of
Yeah.
you if you're not doing
Yeah.
if you're not doing the side missions. So you have to like grind and level up and stuff. That's what takes the longest.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
shit.
a good game though.
It's not like it's something that Smooth could brute force,
Yeah.
like he kind of did with Sekiro. Like
No, he didn't.
he was
didn't do
pushing
that.
through that jump. Like I watched every episode of that shit because it was hilarious. But it was like,
But nah, at first, if you notice, he tried to brute force through it. Then Smooth was like, you know what? I remember. I think it was the first map. He had to go back, and I guess he got real lost, and he like, you know what? I don't know where to go at in this game. Forget this game. And then he took his time, and But Nioh is way more versatile though. Like you gotta too many weapons, and I gotta play this second one. But go ahead, man.
So Chris, you're in the middle of Nioh 2. Are you gonna be able to finish that shit before Final Fantasy though?
Oh yeah. I'm actually trying to rush it right now. Yeah, I think I'm at the end. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 more missions left.
Yeah.
And I'll be fully done with it. I'm pretty sure I'm like right at the end. I'll be surprised if there's like a whole nother area, but I'll definitely be able to finish it before Final Fantasy 7 comes out.
Gotcha.
I got a question for you about that game though. I heard a couple people say it was like, I don't know, it was a couple of YouTube videos. I ain't watching, but it was in the titles. It was like DLC. It could have been DLC or something like that.
Oh, they're calling it Nioh 1.5.
Yeah, like it's how people are, man.
I don't know if you can do a 90-hour DLC.
You wanna,
though.
Right? Yeah, that's true. But as he said, you have to do side missions, right?
Well, do I feel like this is like a
that's what I want to know.
It's yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's the same as the first one, except like
damn.
It's not really. I mean, the first one didn't come out that long ago, so how much do you expect them to like?
First one was 2017.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long.
You're not gonna see like a full change of it. The thing about this one is objectively better when it comes to the combat is more expanded upon. You can do a lot more. There's a lot more skills, and there's like unique like enemy, like all the demons that you fight. You can earn all of their skills and use it against them. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's more weapons and stuff like that. There's one thing that's definitely better is there's a lot more variety in enemies this time around. That was one of the complaints of the first one that I had, is that there were a lot of repeatable enemies, and this one has a lot of repeatable enemies as well.
Yeah.
But in the first one, they weren't as diverse as it is in the second one. However, compared to the first one, I still like the first one more because I like the story better. That's because you play as one set character, and this one is just like you make your own character and they don't talk. So that could be one of the reasons. And I like some of the locations better in the first one. This one has some cool locations, but I still like some of the locations better in the first one. But overall, man, if I was to rate it right now, it's like an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
True.
The first one I gave a 9 out of 10. So.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah, I really fuck with the first one. First one was fire.
So the first topic we're gonna get, one of the first, because we got pretty much 3 main topics I'm gonna cover. First one is also something that kind of emerged over the last 24 hours, and that is the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remaster. It had a stealth release, and it is exclusively released for the PlayStation 4 for at least 30 days. Now, when this broke, what was the initial thoughts behind that? Are you guys like, what is your thought? Like, do you see like a release like this, or an exclusive like this, like out of bounds, inbounds? Like, what are your thoughts on this one? Because I have mixed feelings about it. I'm gonna let you guys talk before I tackle it.
All right, who trying to go? What? No. All right. Like, I mean, from what I said like before the show, like I just think that this deal was like already finished before like any of this shit. Like this was like done around like Modern Warfare with that deal was done with PS4. So I mean, honestly, I wasn't upset or shocked or anything. Like, I guess, like, I was kind of shocked because, like, I thought I was just going to be getting it, like, day one. So, like, but when they said it was exclusive, I was just like, all right, well, fuck it. Like, I don't care. Like, like it's an old game at that. But, I mean, at the same time, like, I'm already, like, focused in some shit right now. So, but, yeah, like I just feel like I could understand other people being upset because they want to get into it, the look at how good it looks and all of that shit, and just have it in their collection. But the like just to have something like this be like a whole month exclusive, just like I don't know, like it doesn't make sense to me, but I get it, I guess. So, yeah.
Nah, man.
To me,
Listen,
I don't really think like it's 30 days. I mean,
No, it is. It's at the end of the month though.
we've had stuff, yeah, but we had stuff like, remember Tomb Raider was previously multiplat and then it went to a year exclusive. You know what I mean? What's that MMO? Black Desert Online. You know what I mean? Xbox got that for a year exclusive. The same thing with Fantasy Star Online. So it's like, yo, these companies are always putting out money to get some type of
Yeah, but
exclusive.
this is kind
This
of
one is not
different.
that. Yeah, but it's only 30 days. I understand if it's like a year exclusive, right? Or like for example, like the whole thing with that mode, right? Remember there was a mode that was exclusive to the PlayStation. It's not coming to Xbox until like I think this year. That mode that came out like last year or whatever. That's some bullshit.
Destiny.
Something like that is complete bullshit. But this whole like 30 days exclusives, I mean, to me, it's
yeah,
like
that's how
we've seen worse. We've seen worse.
I feel Chris on that, man. It's like at the same time, man. Let me go ahead and say this, man, because everybody want to hear it. Xbox did it first last generation, so it's only fair that they get it back right now. And I don't know, man. It really don't hurt me. I was trying to feel some way about it, but then I was like, nah, man, that shit don't even.
All right.
You know what I mean? But
In my opinion, it's just more money for Activision, honestly, because Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare is popping off right now with Warzone. I personally like the multiplayer inside Modern Warfare. They're getting a lot of attention and viewership off the game right now, especially on Twitch. Like Warzone, everybody's playing Warzone.
But
So you
it's
drop
just bad
MW2
timing right
remastered,
now.
get a like quick $20 off that game. That
And
game's
there's
gonna
more,
sell a couple
yeah.
100,000 when it comes to Xbox. I don't think it's gonna sell as much on Xbox because it's backwards compatible on Xbox with multiplayer, like how
Yeah.
Iron Mike says. So
Yeah, we can still play the multiplayer on
Yeah.
Xbox.
yeah,
So that's
we can
Not
still
only
play
that,
that.
it's gonna
And
make
that
a lot
was
of
and
money.
that was my point. That I was
It's
gonna.
made it's,
Go
it's
ahead,
gonna make
Smooth.
No,
money
no, let you go. Chris.
for Sony. This is why the reason why Sony is as they keep putting a lot of money behind this marketing deal because Call of Duty probably makes the most money for Sony out of any other game. You know what I mean? Because the game
Yeah, especially for
sells like
multiplayer.
crazy every year. Exactly for multiplayer. So Sony makes a lot of money off of Call of Duty every single year. So that's why they keep doing that. It's the same thing like like Nick said last generation. Xbox was doing the same thing. It'll be interesting to see who continues this deal with Activision because Activision is not gonna as long as you keep cutting the check. Activision, they don't care, man. They'll release it exclusive to freaking the Switch if Nintendo gave them enough money. But it'll be interesting to see who nabs the next gen exclusive marketing deals with Call of Duty.
Also,
Yeah,
the thing is like the way that Infinity Ward has like reshaped Modern Warfare has been pretty good, honestly. Because you think about their last two IPs, Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty Ghost, they weren't perceived pretty well. It's like you bring back Modern
yeah,
Warfare,
Bro,
you
those Call of
reboot
Duties were
it,
horrible.
really good campaign with this
I
current
enjoyed the
Modern Warfare and
campaigns.
establishing the lore of the Modern Warfare universe again. And then you have like next year, 2021. Obviously, there's gonna be a sequel to this current Modern Warfare.
Well,
Just
See, I
this
a
thought
year,
they
drop the
were
campaign.
doing Black
this year there's
Ops,
some.
but
No.
this
Next
Oh
year,
yeah,
no, no,
okay.
yeah,
2021.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
This year, no,
I
this
thought like
year's Black Ops.
2021 was
No,
Yeah,
doing
this
yeah,
year's
yeah.
Black
Black
Ops.
Ops. No, this
So
year's
this
Black
year's
Ops.
Black Ops,
Yeah,
2020's Black
2020.
Ops.
Yeah,
2020's Black Ops.
Okay, all
2021
right.
is Infinity Ward again.
Not, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
my other like I guess like my expansion on it is that like I can't compare those projects that you mentioned because like comparing like Tomb Raider when it had that exclusivity for a year, like Microsoft put funds into that if I recall, but
Yeah.
then also with the Black Desert thing,
That was game preview.
Yeah, also with that, like, I mean, Phil went wherever he went to get that over here. So like those things are kind of like different compared to like we understand that Sony is the market leader. So like we understand that like they obviously put the bag down. Activision saw they see the projection numbers. If they put it there first, like they gonna get a lot of traffic, they gonna get a lot of bucks for it. So they just like, I mean, it's an understandable deal. Like I get that, but I also, this is like, it's an old game, it's a remaster, like it's just kind of like a weird thing. But I mean, most people should have expected this, just because Modern Warfare, Sony had the marketing rights for that. So she just like, you should have already expected, if they were gonna do something with another Modern Warfare or anything dealing with COD, like it was gonna hit Sony's first. Like it could be an extra mode, fucking remaster game, whatever. Like it's going to hit Sony's first. So like, I mean, it just wasn't a shock to me because I understand the deal or whatever. But this is just kind of weird since it's an old one for me. Like it's just. Yeah. It's just weird.
Yeah, I bought it off of the simple fact that I know that game is going to be easy trophies for me.
Oh, yeah. For
sure.
I
got like, 70% complete on PS3 with MW2. So I'm like, I can easily replicate that again on PS4 with the remaster. Plus, that's one of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns anyways. MW2 is great in my opinion. Yeah. I like the music in it.
The way I looked at it is that on one hand, it's like, okay, well, Xbox players can actually play it. It is backwards compatible, the full game that they have access to. So whatever. But then I look at it, it's like, okay, it's Modern Warfare. Even everybody points to all the Call of Duty deals with Xbox back during the 360 phase. None of them actually ever delayed the game in its entirety to the other platforms. They still came day and date. It's just that maps. And at that point, when you're thinking about maps, it really doesn't matter if PlayStation 3 got it a month later, because every PlayStation user was playing on the same thing. And back then, map wasn't free. You had to buy them. You know, they were added downloads that you had to buy. So it wasn't like,
that's true.
It's not like,
yeah, people compare, but it's not the same.
And then people, and then like Def Grips pointed out, he pointed to like, people want to point to Tomb Raider. People forget, Microsoft funded Tomb Raider, and they also published the Xbox 360 and Xbox One release of that Tomb Raider. Square Enix published the one for obviously PC and PlayStation. So it wasn't Microsoft keeping it from like PlayStation. They published their version. They had they had a date for their version of the game to come out, and it was in 2015. Square Enix date for PlayStation was 2016.
Sony and them got the better version because they
had the 20-year anniversary, and that worked out better because the anniversary obviously lines up with PlayStation and whatnot. And so that's how that worked out. So that's you can't really point to that. Black Desert Online was game preview. A lot of the games that appeared on Xbox first, like that, were like PC centric, like the Arks, the Conans, and the PUBGs and stuff. These were all through game preview, so they weren't actual like major releases. It's just that you had access to them because Xbox has a game preview program, which PlayStation really does not. And so when you think about Call of Duty, you think of a major multi-platform, release. You know what I mean? So,
but they do have a preview program. Just saying it's bigger.
Oh, okay. So the major platform release. So when you think about Call of Duty, it's not like, Activision is going to make. Well, they'll make more money from PlayStation because if PlayStation's paying them a bonus to do that. But generally, if you're gonna get more money releasing on all platforms day one than you would releasing on one. Like you're gonna get more players, more money, more sales. That's just the facts. You're not gonna lose any sales releasing on all platforms at the same time. You will only gain. So it was just weird because it's Call of Duty. Like I don't. All right, a mode, okay, sure. A map pack, sure. Some skins, okay, yeah, I understand that. But the actual game, that's kind of stupid. It's really dumb.
Sony gains though, so that's probably why they paid. Well, they dropped the bag for Modern Warfare and this one because like they gain, because like it incentivizes people to go to their console to get it. So it's like that's probably why the deal was already made. Like we already knew that the remake was coming. since they did one, we already expected that. So like, it's just like this was expected.
Yeah, but listen. Like, I understand the complaint, and I'm not saying nobody should be like upset or frustrated about this. But it's 30 days. Like to me, if this was like a year, then yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, this is bullshit. But at the same time, it's like, the 30 days is gonna be up like that, and boom, it's available everywhere. So
yeah, there'd be like some deals that be like trash. It'd be the year-long deals that be like real trash. Like those are the deals that like I really don't be fucking with. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Yeah. But this is like when it's like, I don't know, like a month, 3 months, I'd be like, should I go wait? Like, like it's not really no sweat off my back.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I mean, I get the people, it's an inconvenience for them. So I just understand from a consumer standpoint. Like I'm not gonna dismiss their concerns or like their disagreements with the shit. Like I get it. Like so.
Remember, it's just campaign right now. Like you still got Xbox guys who has the backwards compatibility, and PC guys can just run mods in the existing game anywhere. Yeah. So
hey,
it's not that bad.
Shout out to Cat Daddy Lurk. He just put a Xbox Game Pass code in the chat.
Hey, if you need that Game Pass, he's the plug. Hit it up. Copy and paste that code quick.
Let me get that.
Damn. Cat Daddy, shout out to Cat Daddy Fat Stacks. Thanks for blessing the chat. I'm gonna see if I haven't heard that name in a
break.
Yeah, wasn't that big boy from Outkast? He used to call himself that.
Cat Daddy.
He is right. What's some? 3 months.
What else? Damn, somebody already took it. No, what the?
Death Grips, you wild.
Let me find out that's an April Fool's joke. Let me find out that's an April Fool's joke over there by Cat Daddy.
Yeah, actually, no. It says the code you enter is not complete. Please enter all 25. What is a brother missing?
But I think he put 4 like right before like the.
Okay.
I don't know if that's all 25. I'm not gonna count them.
Yeah, that looked like a PlayStation. Yeah. Okay, no, a PlayStation only have like 6 numbers or 9 numbers. 6, all right. 8, 10,
12, 13. Oh, a little bit off topic though. We should do Halo 3 campaign format.
Halo 3 campaign is 4-player co-ops. I thought it was only 2.
Yeah, 4-player co-op on that.
3?
4.
2, 3, 4.
Halo 3 4-player co-op. Nah.
Halo 3 is 4-player co-op. Chris doesn't have Xbox though.
It can't be.
Oh, that's true.
Have you never played 4-player co-op on 360?
Not Halo 3.
Halo 3 is 4-player co-op.
3 is 4-player. 4 and 3 and 4 is 4-player.
Yeah, right? 3 and 4. ODST is as well.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Well,
how you think I got that achievement with that 4-man Warhog mission to get Hayabusa armor on 360?
So what y'all playing on, heroic or legendary? I don't think I got time for legendary.
I mean, heroic is fine. I don't mind heroic.
Yes, I don't care.
Like whenever you guys are down, I'm down to play Halo 3.
Yeah, I mean, Halo 3, I like Halo 3's campaign, but I've only played one Halo through 4-player co-op, and that was obviously the most recent one, Halo 5.
Yeah.
No, but 3 had it as well.
Okay.
Should ask Chris if he down. Should Chris, you down?
He don't got that?
Yeah, man. I just got my Xbox today.
Yeah,
so,
you do.
You know.
Oh man.
Let's rock it then.
Chris got it.
Another topic today in terms of exclusive. in terms of exclusive, another rumor has come out. I don't really think I believe it, or I haven't really been following up, but it says a new rumor alleges that Microsoft is buying Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and more from Konami. This rumor first appeared for PlayStation. Remember that? And they were going to give it to Kojima Productions to bring these games back, and then Konami denied that. But then like a more detailed report came out for suggesting Microsoft is buying it and that they're at the tail end. It says that oh my god, give me 1 second. It says, according to TechPlusGames.com, a leaker on Pastebin stated Microsoft had already finalized a sale of not only Silent Hill but also all Konami's franchises, including Metal Gear and Castlevania. The pay's been documented also laid out other alleged terms like Microsoft's obligation to pay royalties on any remasters and Konami's right to build a new gambling machine based on its properties. Microsoft will, however, be allowed to keep all profits from any new and original games and select potentially laid off employees in the event of a sale to form a new Japanese-based studios. In the first 12 to 18 months of this deal, Konami has apparently allowed Xbox Game Studios Tokyo to act as a satellite office. Like I said, it's a bit detailed. But like, are you guys buying this? Any of you guys heard about this?
All right, I'll go first because I got a little bit to say. Like, I mean, all right, when I read this, it was just kind of like the same vibe that I got from the Sony one, just like a little bit more detailed, but it's still like the thing about when I heard it about Sony was that like you already knew that they had bad blood in a sense with them like funding Kojima and Kojima having a fallout with them. So it was just like it was more kind of like on the latter half where I didn't believe it. I was like, ain't no motherfucking way they about to toss all that shit to them people over there. They know Kojima over there. Like they ready to throw hands on that man. They ready to put paws on him. So like when it comes to the Xbox One, all right, it's a little bit more detailed. Like I get it, it's a little bit more fleshed out. Like I mean, some of the verbiage and all of that shit does sound sweet. Like, but if either of them, if it was Sony PlayStation or Microsoft Xbox, either of them get this Joan, like that's a steal. Like that's clutch. Like that's like clear out the store, my guy. Think about that. You're getting Silent Hill, Castlevania, Metal Gear. Think about all the potential of just like new minds, new hands getting to just to like fuck around with them IPs. It's crazy. Like it's dumb. So like I mean, if Microsoft did do it, I'd be very happy. If Sony would have got it, it would have gave me more reason to go out there and get a PS5. Because like if Silent Hill came out, I'd be getting a PS5. Like hands down. Like if that was like Sony exclusive, I'd be like, I'm about to go drop a bag. Like, but it's just like, hey man, shit is up in the air. I don't know. Shit, I'm not getting my hopes up to when it don't happen. If it don't happen, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, fuck Microsoft for not doing this. It's just like, okay, it didn't happen. But all right, y'all.
Okay, well here's the thing. The whole thing was like the whole Kojima and Silent Hill things. Because you had a couple of teasers from what was it, like one of the producers over there at Kojima Production. Like I remember he had like a pencil, and then he said something about something silent, and then on the pencil literally says pyramid or pyramid head, right? Which anybody who plays Silent Hill knows Pyramid Head is one of like, it's like the most like famous villain of Silent Hills, right? And then the person who leaked the rumor, or the people who leaked the rumor about the whole thing with Silent Hills and Sony, they've had a good track record in the past. And so when the news came out, when like Konami denying it, it was one of the U.S. marketing guys at Konami who said that, well, the way that the rumor is going on right now, that's not true. But he didn't fully deny that there was something going on with Silent Hills. But the people who leaked the rumors, they're still saying, even after that came out, they're still saying like, no, we trust our sources, and we're doubling down on this rumor / leak. You know what I mean? The whole thing with like the Xbox thing, I don't know, man. Honestly, I didn't really look into it. So as far as like, I don't believe the rumors of like Sony buying Konami or Sony buying Silent Hills, Metal Gear, and Castlevania, right? Because that was like one of the original rumors. So was that like, I didn't believe that with the Sony, and I don't know if Microsoft is gonna do that either. Like I doubt that too. But I mean, we're gonna have to just wait and see how this all plays out. It'll be cool for anyone. If any one of them, if Microsoft or Sony can have a deal like that, that's a huge win for whoever does it.
I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. There's not I think an IP from Konami that I'm actually have ever been interested in. Like it would be big, but this is not the first time Silent Hill was supposed to be bought. Remember back in 2014, It was sure, I think either shortly before or after the cancellation of that PT demo thingy. Silent Hill was supposed to go on, like Microsoft was supposed to have bought them and whatnot. And I think it's Sony.
I didn't even hear that.
I remember I did a video on my channel. If you go to my channel, one of my earlier videos, I did a reaction video to the rumor. And then I had to do a video within 24 hours of the rumor being like fake. So I do remember reacting to it. I mean, it would be cool if I think if Xbox did it, it would be you would do it just to keep Sony from doing it, and because isn't Kojima still like independent?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would use that as bait for Kojima to work on. Obviously, some of the one of those IPs that obviously you got, Metal Gear, and which one he did, Silent Hill as well.
The PT demo.
Yeah. And so he could do it. I mean, obviously you would want try to lure him to do, obviously the IP for Xbox. And the thing is, if it's in the hands of Xbox, it's not. Oh, this game is just limited to Xbox. It's still multi-utilized Xbox and PC. So there's still like all right, we get multiple platforms in here for it. Whereas obviously if it's going to if PlayStation does it, it's going to be PlayStation 5 and only PlayStation 5 until they decide to ultimately release it on the PC. But honestly, I feel like there's bigger fish out there. I wouldn't be mad at them. I wouldn't want them just to buy IPs. You would want a studio because you would want a development team that would be able to handle those IPs instead of just grabbing a bunch of IPs and then just dishing them out to other studios to make. So that's one thing, and I feel like there's bigger fish to fry, right? There's 4 studios. I think 4 moves. Not they all don't have to happen at the same time, but one of these 4 I would prefer over Konami. ZeniMax, which is Bethesda, that's a much, much bigger purchase that has a lot of IPs and a lot of studios already, right? That's Skyrim, that's Fallout, that's Doom, that's Wolfenstein, that's Evil Within. You cover all your bases. RPG, shooter, all story-based, all single-player games. You will cover your bases. You will cover your bases with ZeniMax. That's if Microsoft copped ZeniMax, they would not need to make another acquisition again in regards to the video games. You add ZeniMax to with their existing library. With ZeniMax, you have multiple AAA IP studios for those. Those are 4 separate IPs that can hold their own to obviously to the Halos, the Gears, and the Forzas, like independent IPs that are well known, right? That's a purchase where they can make that and they don't need to get anybody else. If you don't do a ZeniMax though, then I look at things like Asobo, Asobo, Techland, and just a small wimp of hope of CD Projekt Red, which people think is too expensive, but I don't think it's too expensive for Microsoft. Remember, they spent billions for freaking Minecraft, so that's my thought on that.
That's what make me think that he's not buying IP. Like, I don't think Phil going to take that route. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of him going and getting studios, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he can get people to, you know what I mean, work on either new things or properties they already own. Going to licensing out IP, I don't think Konami or Microsoft could benefit from it. Like, to me, it don't make no sense.
I definitely agree with Nick because Microsoft, they have a whole. They don't really need to get any of Konami's IPs. They still have a whole back catalog of old and existing IPs that they can revisit. You know what I mean? Like your Perfect Darks and
Fable,
and a lot of like the rare IPs.
Like they do, like but like that Silent Hill would be like. That's the neck, guy. Like,
but what situation you don't want to end up in. I think it's more harder to recreate an experience than creating a new one. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I'm saying, like they have something like not because like they have something to build off of, like with that. Like I'm not saying that like I mean. I agree with you, Nick, that like, I mean, just to go out and license stuff, I don't think Phil's in that mindset anymore. Like if he's going out, like he dropping bags. And I mean, even in the interview shit, I guess we'll get to it with Ryan, like it's just like the bag isn't infinite. So like he's smart on the way that he's been like purchasing things. You get what I'm saying? In the way that he's been leveraging like just like a development for the console and all of that shit. Like he's been real smart. He's been real strategic. So like shit, if he did do this, you would know that it would be thought out and it would be like he would already have like a map just like laid out for Konami if that was the case. Like he's not dumb and the bag ain't infinite. So like like you have like a certain window of cash that you could use and that's it. So
here's my thing. I agree with Nick in the sense that with the current studios that you got right now, you can establish a foundation on Xbox Series X of like really solid titles, and then you can justify getting more money in the future because you drop bangers, like how Sony does. So like Sony has a track record of dropping really nice games, and then they can justify getting more money to fund other studios and other titles. So like you can just establish a foundation now with what you have, and then you can make like a big purchase down the line and release new IPs then.
Yeah, but it isn't like they're not gonna create games though. Like if they did,
I think that's
like purchase it. Like it's not like they're kind of, if they did make a purchase, it's not like they're roadblocked from revisiting those old IPs. Like they could still do that, and like they could still explore them in a different tone and everything, just to liven them up a bit. Like I'm not saying like they wouldn't or can't do that if they did.
No, I get what you're saying. My thing is like if you got a certain budget to work in, right?
Yeah.
And you've already acquired whatever studios you have, work with that first. And then down the line, once you got everything established, like all right, we got some titles from Ninja Theory coming out. We got Obsidian, everybody's doing their thing, Playground Games. We got some bangers coming out on Series X and they selling well. Now we can be like, all right, let's get a little bit more. Let's expand a little bit more and buy some more studios.
Yeah, I think no, I completely agree with Jay, because even from like the interview with like Phil Spencer today, like it sounds like he's focusing more on trying to like build up the studios that they bought. You know what I mean? Build up their portfolio. Which that should be the most important focus right now. And then later on down the line, then they can buy licensed games and stuff like, and have some of these studios build it. But I agree that the focus right now for Xbox definitely needs to be building those studios up for next generation.
Sure.
And make sure they drop quality games.
Well, let's talk about that interview. And this is obviously the final topic, the major topic. Phil Spencer sat down with Ryan McCaffrey of IGN's Unlocked podcast, and they talked about a lot of things. Ryan, shout out to Ryan for asking the questions he did. He seemed like he didn't hold back. He tried to get as much out of Phil Spencer as he can, and he knew the answers he was going to get, but he had the balls to ask him, and I appreciate him. So they talked about Xbox Series X launch, potential delays,
it's my job,
party games. So this interview was great because it was Phil still had this confidence in him. It's like their hardware is probably done. I don't think that's a problem, because obviously the only concern that they have really is the software that's scheduled to come out this year, because obviously they don't want to release a console and then not have the games to go with it. The console is done pretty much. So that's what I got, because he's like, they've been more so like they're not really worried about the hardware. That's done. But it was just this level of confidence. The answers, like just a couple highlights, and I'll let everybody pull a thing or two.
Yeah, he kind of made Phil brag about it.
That you like talk about, like, what was the reaction? Did you feel better about the Xbox Series X after the PlayStation? And we got that answer. Them double downing on like, we can't think of an event that we can do without announcing anything new. There's like they got so many. The math is there to support that. They have new things they announce, and with the Xbox publishing team is working on the type of collaborations they're doing, and then their first party studios are obviously cooking. The initiative, he tried to get them to crack. So I want to start. Did you guys all watch the interview and listen to it, right?
Yes.
I
watched
didn't
it,
listen
yeah.
to it. I didn't even watch it.
Man.
To be honest
I
with you,
watched it.
I didn't even know it existed.
Oh yeah, it happened today.
Yeah, it just dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was like a stealth drop.
Let's get Chris. Let's start
Yes.
with you. Like your biggest takeaways and what did you get from the interview today?
Okay. First of all, I thought it was a great interview. Shout out to Ryan for, like you said, not holding anything back and going straight in with the questions that everybody wants to know. My biggest takeaway is Phil and the team over there at Microsoft, um, that they have more of a focused plan going into the next generation and more of like a rollout. They feel they definitely you know what I mean? Because the beginning of this generation, like since they got so much backlash, they started scrambling and everything became chaotic for them. That they had the entire generation ended up them resulting in trying to like pick up the slack on what Donnie D did and everything. So they definitely feel more confident and focused going in the next generation, which is great to hear if you're an Xbox consumer. Um, he's saying that they're focusing, like I was saying before, they're focused on their first party studios that they just acquired, building them up, making sure, they're producing whatever they got to produce. I want to point out one thing because Ryan McCaffrey was asking him like about the prices and stuff like that, and he was pretty much saying, well, we wanted to focus on something that's worth, and when we're thinking about like something like Game Pass and backwards compatibility and smart delivery, that lets me know that the Series X. I mean, we all know this.
Yeah, he was hyping up the features.
Yeah, the Series X ain't gonna be no cheap consoles.
Nah,
you know what
fam.
I mean?
That's
So
what I got out of that.
we're gonna see a situation where the Series X is gonna be $100 more than the PlayStation 5, right? At least I would
Of
assume so,
course.
right? Yeah, of course. Obviously, they're a more powerful console. I like the fact that he was saying that when Ryan asked him, well, when you were building the consoles, were you like thinking about what Sony was going to do and how they were going to build their consoles? And he pretty much said that no, that they were just focusing on the console, building a quality console for their consumer that's going to be worth it, right? So a really powerful console and have all these great features and whatnot. So, what else he said? Yeah, he just said a lot of things, man. Yeah, man. Like honestly, this wasn't a bad interview. I mean, this is what we want to hear going into next generation. Um, like I said before, I think that Microsoft is going to be in a much better position next generation than they were this generation. I hope so. Because I do want them to give Sony competition. I don't want Sony to slack off. Like Sony's kind of slacking off right now with their marketing and their messaging. So Xbox, they definitely need to continue on the road that they're
So
going with. So yeah, the only thing, man, is just we just got to see very good quality games that people want. Like you know what I mean? Like yo, this game you need to get an Xbox for this game specifically. You know what I mean? Because we have that with Sony and Nintendo, and yeah, you could say there's some for Microsoft, but y'all know what I mean. That freaking game that is like, yo, oh my god, like they got Spider-Man, oh my god, Zelda. Like we need something like that for the Xbox, and they do have Halo and Gears, but I mean,
To be announced. Just wait.
hopefully, yeah, I hope so. Like I don't hate on Xbox. I'm a Sony fanboy, or a Sony fan. I'm not a fanboy extremist, but I don't hate on Xbox. You know what I mean? Like people, some people in the comments they don't like me because I'm a Sony fan, but you never see me just blindly hate on Xbox or anything like that. Like I want to see them doing better because I want people like Smooth, who's been riding for Xbox, who's been stretching this entire generation, who's been fighting this war. He done lost a leg. He done got a black eye and everything,
yeah,
man. Like, yo, Microsoft needs to win. I don't think they need to win. See, here's the thing, and I'm just gonna say this, right? I don't think they need to do. Oh yeah, that's one thing I want to bring up. He's saying that he wants to win, and that's the hunger that I like. I like Phil saying that, yo, we want to win. You know what I mean? And we have stuff in position that we think we can win, right? I like hearing that. So here's the thing: Microsoft, they don't need to win the next generation as far as like the overall sales, but they just need to do much better than this generation. And if they do much better than this generation, then that's a W. That's a big win for Xbox.
Yeah,
They
then
don't.
they won. If the
Yeah, then
perception
they.
changes for
Right.
them from this generation, then they won.
They won. Exactly. I agree with that. I agree. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. Great interview, man.
Yeah, great.
Look,
One of the
you keep going right.
matter of fact, I'll let Death Grips you go.
Well, not like I mean, shit. What I got from it was just like clarity. It was just a lot of clarity, really focused. Like I always enjoy Ryan McCaffrey's interviews. Like he's done some fantastic interviews. So like when I saw that Phil was up there, I was like, oh man, like I thought that it was an April Fool's joke as well. So but when I clicked on it and I saw it and I saw him talking, like I mean, he cleared up the perception that like they had an infinite bag. Like that was one thing that he cleared up where people can like quit going with that. Like they got a bag, like they got a window, and I mean the pricing of the console falls in that as well. So like when he said that that like they got a price and it's a comfortable price, like me personally, just me speculating, I think it's 500. Like I feel like the PS5 will be 4, that will be 5. Cause he spoke of it with like it's a confident number, it's a comfortable number for them, like the pricing. But like he said, it'll be around like they're gonna talk about it around like summer or some shit like that. So like um but yeah, like Chris said, like I mean, I would like for the perception to change as well. And I feel like just me, like I mean, I'm not the type of person who just ignores every fucking thing they've been doing since 2013, since the release. And I mean, he even spoke on like the perception from that release date of 2013 with like TV, and all of that bullshit. Like he acknowledged that. And that's the thing shit about Phil that I will always respect is that he keeps his ear to the street. So like when he hears and sees that the perception of Xbox from 2013 and so forth and in the earlier years was always like TV should connect and all of that bullshit that they was talking about when they came out. Like, I mean, this was so clear that like their whole trajectory is different. Like their whole vibe is different. Like he's not fucking around anymore. So like people can quit trying to run with that narrative. They're like, oh yeah, we about to get fucking. I forgot what that whack ass game was they released. The John with the robot dog and like Shorty with the robot arm. Like that shit was ass. Like the John, like I didn't fuck with it. But I'm just saying,
Was it
like
Recore?
people, yeah, Record. People
Yeah.
can quit
Love that.
running with that narrative of just like, oh yeah, we about to just be getting these games, or this is fodder and that's fodder. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like none of these developers that they bought was just like he was just throwing money in the wind. This was strategic shit. They knew what type of companies and developers they needed to tackle the specific realms of things that they needed. They needed RPGs, they got them. They needed a first party narrative, third person, whatever, they got it. Like they coming. So like I mean, I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Like I literally don't. The interview was great. Phil is my guy. Fuck out of here.
I mean, Phil's been pretty consistent for the past couple of years. That's the biggest thing with Phil. Phil's message about Xbox, the branding, especially with Series X, has been very consistent. So that's all you can expect with him. I'm gonna watch the interview, but from what you guys are saying, he's just been reiterating a lot of what they've been saying as of recently, and then just reassuring a lot of what um people who may be on the fence or who may be confused about Series X, which they've been very upfront about their system ever since starting from last year. It's just that they've been more detailed as of recently in terms of the little intricacies of the hardware, what it's capable of doing, giving you specs, giving you features and things of that matter. So
Let me give a quick shout out to John Mark Lewis. He says for $2 in the super chat. He says Sony is in more regions 72 to Xbox 22. That's currently. We'll see how that changes over the course of the next generation.
Yeah, and he talked about that too. He talked about like one of the mistakes that he constantly thinks about is, for example, like releasing in Japan like 8 months later. Like he mentions that in the interview. Like he doesn't want to have that situation where the Xbox doesn't release in certain regions like months later down the line.
That's the second time he said that too. He really don't like that. He
they need that global. Yeah. Like,
and one of the thing I wanted to bring up that's actually good news for you Xbox gamers is when they Ryan McCaffrey brought up the whole thing was like stuff like Cuphead and Ori going to the Switch.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my take, bro.
Yeah. Well, he said like he was saying just because he allowed those games to go to the Switch doesn't mean that it's gonna keep happening with a bunch of Xbox games. He like
but
pretty
Matt
much
Booty
what he
said that too.
Yeah,
pretty much what he's reiterating that pretty much alluding
to.
Like you know when that started happening. You know what I mean? Like everybody started going crazy. We started making fun. It's like, oh, I can't wait to play Gears on a PlayStation. I can't wait to. But from what he said, he's like, that's not gonna happen.
Phil was getting annoyed with those questions. He didn't like how that created these rumors and these the expectation. Like, oh, people keep coming. Like, oh, well, is this game gonna go to the Switch? He said he want Xbox fans to have an expectation of an Xbox game and we're released. And he said, no, you guys know Xbox and PC. He's like, he doesn't want like every game that he released. Oh, are we gonna release it to the Switch and stuff like that? And I like that answer because
he said he's gonna satisfy y'all.
Yeah, bro. I like that answer. Like I did like that answer because that's annoying because people are like, I'm gonna get Ori Will Whistle on the Switch. Out of here.
They did say that a lot. Like you had like your IGNs and your GameSpots.
And
like,
I think
like, oh man,
what happened was when the Switch came out. Here's the thing. This is what happened. The Switch came out. Microsoft has a good relationship with Nintendo. Microsoft is a little bit, you know, they're liberal in their approach of things, and obviously they have these studios and these partnerships that had, you know, admired, like, because you got to think about Moon Studios isn't owned by Microsoft, but Ori is a Microsoft IP. Cuphead isn't a Microsoft IP, and it's not a Microsoft studio, but they had like publishing obligations with Microsoft since they signed off on those games. But Microsoft allowed them to go ahead. You know, it's like, you know what, the Switch is an interesting device. Let's go ahead. You guys have the approval because obviously Microsoft is going to get funds from that with those deals. But it was really to satisfy the developers. Those were projects that they wanted to do, ports that they wanted to see with their IPs. And I know all of us looked at those and like, oh, so this game's gonna go. Oh, Game Pass is gonna go to Switch. We thought we thinking about all that stuff, and it wasn't really that. It was really those developers, those studios, really wanting to, you know, get involved with the Switch as it being a new platform instead of creating a whole brand new IP to run on it. Let's see how our game does. It was a way to get extra money in their pocket. Obviously, Microsoft's gonna get some cash and some brand awareness and some Xbox Live logins on that. But it wasn't to set a precedence that, oh, every game that releases on Xbox is just going to release on Switch. And I was happy that he cleared that up because it kills that narrative that people have been pushing. Oh, no, it's going to
Let's see how long that lasts, though. Yeah. Let's see how long that lasts. Like, if I go to IGN or GameSpot or some shit, especially GameSpot, let me see, in Game Informer, let me see how long that lasts before dude come out and say, oh, man, I don't believe it because they don't have exclusives. Like, I guarantee you, I can't wait. Like,
at the same time, most of those dudes are trolling and they're misinformed on a lot of the information that's being dispersed from Phil Spencer and the Xbox camp. Period. Because the fact that you're going on the internet and saying, oh, well, I guess all these different exclusives are going to come over. Like Phil and Matt Booty already specified the plan that they have for their first party titles. Exactly.
And I think,
so there's no misinformation and trying to misconstrue that. Like, you're losing credibility by doing something like that on the internet.
A lot of Game Informer dudes. I forgot his name. Reiner, like that. Like, bro, like
Andrew Reiner.
Yeah, like he just keeps losing it for me. Like I used to enjoy him a lot until he just got into this little thing he does, and like I'd be like, man, fuck out of here. Like, 'cause he just ignores everything that they say, and it's just like, bro, this shit has been clarified for you. Like, you're the journalist. Like, you the one who got
all
fucking
integrity and credibility.
16 years in this shit. Like,
yeah, I've been noticing that a lot, man. There's a lot of like, especially like IGN. Oh my god, like the amount, like whenever I watch some of their podcasts or sit downs that they do, like the amount of like misinformed and like uninformed opinions that they have is crazy.
I've
and
been
I was
saying
like,
that about IGN. Like
Jason Schreier,
no, you cannot listen to somebody.
No, Jason Schreier, he's good on what he says for the most part. I mean, I don't agree with some of his opinions, but when it comes to like facts and like journalist facts, like he's definitely one of the best. But as far as like his opinions, like to me, he's like one of those soft progressive liberal dudes. But that's his personal opinion. You know what I mean? But like like IGN, like I remember watching them. They were speaking like last week, man. I was pulling my hair because they were talking about FF7 remake, man, and the amount of misinformation. They still think that game is like a 5-hour episodic game and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, it's like the information has been confirmed by the developers themselves.
It's already out there.
And it's the same thing you guys are saying. Like this stuff is confirmed and it's been confirmed by Matt Booty, Phil Spencer himself. But they still go on with this misinformation. And it's like, bro, y'all supposed to be journalists. Y'all get paid to have all this knowledge. I'm not a journalist.
Research. They don't do their research. They don't do their research.
Lucy James, shorty, I think she's at GameSpot. Like they wonder why, like they get all this fucking hate.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying like go and attack these people, but just like question them about this shit.
Well, that's the thing about journalists versus like YouTubers and people who do this stuff independently. We act as a check and balance for those individuals who have these quote unquote big positions and they're quote unquote journalists. Like they don't have all the facts. They don't do a lot of the research that they're supposed to do and do their due diligence and making sure that the information and stuff that they're talking about is accurate. It's like when they were talking about the Xbox One X, I was like, yeah, a lot of the hardware features that they're talking about, they don't fully understand or grasp. So their opinion isn't nothing.
They could go out and talk to these like they could go out and talk to these devs, or they could go out and talk to Phil Spencer. We can't. We're just reading, and like when these tech drops happen, or these games get specified and with these details, like with 7 remake and shit like that. How you talking about this game? This game's so close to fucking release. You still talking about it like it's a 5-hour game, like 5-hour game.
Doesn't make sense.
Like that shit is retarded.
Like I expect it from like, okay, like if it's just like some random people on Twitter, because there is so much misinformation out there, like a bunch of random people on Twitter, or even some like YouTubers that are like not in the industry. Okay, cool, you know what I mean, like whatever. But when we're talking about like these big huge outlets that are quote unquote professional journalism and professional critics and stuff like that, when you're out here giving us like misinformed opinions that are like confirmed facts from the actual main source themselves, and you still don't know what the hell is going on. Like, yo, that's the problem, because you got a lot of people who tune into your IGNs and your Game Informers and your GameStop, and they get a lot of the information from them. And so when you got misinformation, then you're misleading the audience who may not do their extensive research or look more past what they're saying. Then it just creates more misinformation, and then everybody is just running around with like this misinformation and clueless and looking stupid.
That's why you gotta have individuals that do their research, man.
Never mind. This dude could be never mind. I'm bugging.
No, you gotta have people that do their research. Like me, I cross-reference a lot of my articles. I do a lot of research because there's so much access to information.
It's April Fool's, Smooth. Yeah, remember that.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
It's April Fool's. I can't wait to what you saw? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I ain't falling for nobody's foolery. So one of the things that kind of helped me, that I also thought was cool is like when they were talking about pricing, Phil Spencer said something rather interesting, right? And he says with Microsoft, they're allowing them to be a little bit more agile. He didn't seem like, oh, they're going to be a pricing like, oh, they're going to price this thing out. And he seemed, the way he sounded, it sounded like, oh, this is going to be it didn't sound like this is going to be a $600 console. Phil Spencer led me to believe that this might actually be a surprisingly priced console. Like he says, they've been given the freedom to price this console and to be more agile with it. And so that led me to think, I was like, all right, who's to say this has to be? Maybe this isn't a $600 console. Maybe this could actually be a $449 console.
No, I'm thinking 500 because
I'm thinking 500.
Hold on. Because here's what I got. Here's what I got. Because if you pay attention, he started mentioning stuff like Game Pass and backwards compatibility and smart delivery, right? So to me, what he was pretty much what I got from that is, this console is not gonna be like cheap, like not no $400 or $449. I'm guessing $500. But because of those features, like backwards compatibility, Game Pass, and smart delivery, it will help the console be worth it because it will soften the blow. Because you don't need, because like most of the time, right, when a console comes out and it doesn't have those features, right, you're gonna have to buy a couple games that's like $120 to $180 plus whatever accessories you're gonna get, plus the year online pass $60. You usually end up paying like $700 to $800 for these brand new consoles. With something like the Series X, you could just flat out pay $500, get Game Pass. You have a whole bunch of access to to a bunch of games. Plus, you got your backwards compatibility for all the games that your digital games, your digital library or whatever, and you got smart delivery. Like if you have already a copy of Cyberpunk, you don't have to buy the new Series X version. You just put it in and boom, and you already have the Series X version. So that's what I got when he was saying that because they wanted to build this powerful machine that because of all these extra features, it's going to be worth it because it's not really going to hurt the pocket that much because you're not going to have to pay for a bunch of games, $60 right off the bat. You already
man, save your stimulus check. When you get that stimulus check, take that $4.99, put it into your savings account. That's it, man. You good.
Yeah,
that's your console.
The thing that I got from the thing that I got from what Chris and Smooth just said was that and even I said this a couple podcasts back or even on Twitter or some shit. It was just that Game Pass. It's alleviating some of the stress. You feel me? So it's they don't feel the pressure of having the issue what they were saying with Sony. They were having an issue with pricing for the console. I don't feel that what Phil said there. It made it he cleared it up to where what I said, it was just they could make this a $500 console, but I mean shit, it could be worth $100, $200 more than that. You get the subscriptions and shit that alleviates that pressure off of you because you're still getting those subscribers. But then also what Chris said with a lot of the features and everything, it feels more padded for the long run. You feel me? So you get your Game Pass, but then you also have the games that you previously owned. Then you have the games that you previously owned, and then you got the games that you previously owned. So you got all that shit stacked on there, and then they got it bundled with the online shit. Games of Gold is trash. But you got the shit where it's you got your online in there with Game Pass. But then also if you have Ultimate, that disincentivizes if you have a fucking PC, you got all of that shit. You got a whole plethora of shit to choose from and just eat up. That seems like it's padded for the long run, where it's they don't feel like anybody choking them out. You feel me?
And we talked about this a couple podcast episodes ago about Game Pass and the benefits of having Game Pass now into the next generation. We're I don't have to buy Halo 5 on release, not Halo 5, Halo Infinite on release, because I know I have a Game Pass, the new Gears, whatever it may be. I don't have to dish out $60 day one to buy the game when I know the exclusive is going to be there. So I can invest that money in something else like Cyberpunk or something like that.
Yeah, the metrics have changed. Where it's like you don't even gotta like. I mean, in the dumb part, the narrative is like, oh, you get it on Game Pass. Like people say that as it's a problem, but it's still like if I want to buy it, I'm gonna buy it. Like I just get to play it day one. Like so, it's just like later on when I get the money, I'm gonna buy it. But I get to play it day one since I've subscribed.
Smooth. We need to something need to be said about that because people think they're not supporting developers when they choose to not support Game Pass. Yeah, but that's not the case. You know what I'm saying?
People got to stop because people got to ask themselves, well, why are these third-party developers signing up for this?
Exactly. Like what the hell?
Like why? Like why are they signing up?
You think they gonna sign up for a loss?
But Smooth, explain to me this though. Explain to me this, Smooth. How does first-party developers get paid? Don't they get paid by salary?
They're salaried. They get paid regardless. So
like this shit doesn't like this whole narrative of this. I like to support the devs.
For first party devs, they get they get bonuses obviously on like sales and Metacritic and all this other stuff. Awards. Obviously that gives them an uptick, but they're getting paid.
Right.
They're getting paid like regardless. You know what I mean? A lot of these people working for these studios or the new age Xbox Game Studios, these are like salaried people working for it's a career, you know what I mean, a job. Like I understand with different studios and stuff, like they got contractors that come in and whatnot. Yeah, they get paid. It doesn't really matter to them. If you're an independent studio,
exactly,
sales matters.
Yeah,
the hardest thing is about games because making games isn't easy. And you're not guaranteed to sell. That's why before Game Pass, a lot of smaller developers and independent studios, they were hoping to be Xbox games with gold or hoping to be PlayStation Plus games because they get a bigger bag up front for that. Because they know
especially that multiplayer.
They know by itself if they just release it, they're not probably going to sell as much. So what games with gold and what PlayStation Plus did is acted as a booster. Okay, one, it's free, obviously, so you're going to get players. And it acted as advertisement from the major publishers.
Yeah, it's a
they're
promotion.
emailing it, they're tweeting it out. It's on the dashboards. So before there was a Game Pass, these independent developers, one thing is getting on, Xbox and PlayStation and PC is the easiest platform to get your game on, right? But getting on Xbox and PlayStation, the next thing, the biggest thing to do was to secure a games with gold. That was what these independent developers wanted because they got a bag up front. Like, there's never a lose situation where you try to negotiate how much money you want for a game to be free for a month. You know what I mean? You either going to make more than what you was going to sell, or you're going to make, it's a gamble. But at the end of the day, it's guaranteed bucks. But now with Game Pass in the picture, it's like, okay, this is a paid subscription like Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus, but with Game Pass is more consistent, and the length of time is longer, so that's more negotiating dollars, and the bonus to be on Game Pass is probably bigger than what it was to be with Games with Gold. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of smaller developers are buying into the Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure when PS Now is getting itself together to be a formidable subscription service for on PlayStation, they're showing off their projects, their games, and pretty much pitching it to Xbox and PlayStation to get their services there, negotiating an amount to get their services there for 3, 6, 9 months to do that, and that's helping them. That's a lot easier than putting your game and hoping somebody sees it and buys it. You know what I mean? Then they from when you just put it on sale, you have to rely on Twitch streamers and YouTube people because you have to give them codes to review your game and give your game coverage. That's the cheaper way to do it, but it's not going to guarantee you any sales. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Dead Cells, that game, had it not been for that dude like plagiarizing that review, Dead Cells wouldn't have been a conversation. Yeah,
Right.
that wouldn't have been a conversation. But because that story blew up so bad, the game just got free publicity. Like,
yeah, they definitely were.
But no, but what I see with it, and I hope the games take off in the same way with Game Pass and PS Now, and I'm talking on both sides, because what you notice with Netflix and music and movies and shows and stuff like that, what you notice once it went to this subscription based and the deals and contracts that the smaller companies and independent studios and artists, you notice you've been seeing more creativity amongst getting paid with the as far as movies and producers and young, independent studios. As far as on Netflix, what's the guy with the, what's that movie he came out with, Get Out or something like that, like, certain just a lot of people, even with music now. Yeah, even with music, it's just you're gonna see more creativity. That's what I'm hoping
access, man. Why do you think GameStop is down? Like, nobody's out here buying. Some people do, but not a lot of people are buying physical copies of games. Like, everything's digital. I've been going digital since midway of 360 generation, because it's like, why am I gonna run out to the store when I could just buy the game right here and know how to work around the different sales? Like, right now, it's spring sale on PlayStation. Right now, you can buy a whole bunch of titles on there that's on sale. Like, I work around those different deals.
I was one of them old dogs. Like, I was one of them old dinosaurs. I was like, shit. I had
Netflix since 2010.
I just had so many collector's editions and so many physical copies. Like, my room was just like, there was like a portion of it that was blue. Like, you knew, like, okay, these games, these collector's editions was PS4. Then I had like a whole half of my room was fucking green. Like, it was just like stacks and stacks of just like collector's editions and games. Like, I was like, man, this shit got to get the fuck up out of here. Like, so I just like, I picked my favorite like shit collectibles, and all them other jumps that I just been selling. All the other games, traded them in. Shit, I got like, what was that, like fucking almost like $1,000 and such. Like, with how many games I took into GameStop, I was like, man,
you gotta think about the economic aspect as well. Like, not everybody got $60 to drop every 2 weeks when the new game drops, and not every game's worth $60. Let's just be honest about, like, not every game is worth $60.
That depends on the buyer too, but yeah, you're right.
Well, people say my thing about why I brung that up is people say quality is going to drop, but when the subscription base came to music and movies, the quality rose.
It rose, like,
This
Look
is
at Netflix.
what I don't understand. This is my point, and I want anybody to try to argue about it. And whoever think they can combat, like, you can't, because you can see it. The proof is right there. Like, and I think we're gonna see the same thing with games. More independence, and people gonna take more chances with Game Pass, PS Now, and Origin, and different subscription thing.
Yeah, when you tap like is that I used to be in like a metal hardcore band and shit like that. Like, when you do these things in like when it applies to like DIY and shit like that.
Is it a band? What you say? You're using a band?
Yeah, metal hardcore band. Like, huh?
Nah,
no,
go ahead.
Like, what I'm saying is just like it definitely like it helps alleviate, like, and I'm gonna keep saying this word, is this, like, it releases that pressure. Like, it gives these people room to explore, and it gives them, like, to not have to worry about the restrictions that they would have to worry about, so that if they weren't getting supported, if they weren't getting promoted, if they had so much red tape just to jump through, just to get some eyeballs on their goddamn game, like, it takes a lot of that away for the most part, where they could just spread their wings and just go. Like, and I mean, with the subscription services, like, this, like, the Bong Joon-ho guy, it's just like who did Parasite, he did Okja, like, he did like all these films that went to streaming services after they dropped. Like, I mean, his quality of films haven't dropped. Like, so that's dumb to say, hey, yo, shit, he about to drop this on streaming services. This movie's about to be trash. Movies ain't trash. Stop it.
I agree with you guys are saying. The thing about Game Pass is different. There's several keys to it. You get these games. you have them there for a decent amount of time. You get notified on that when the games are leaving the service. The best thing about the service is that all these games, like especially if you like them and they're games with longevity, like multiplayer and stuff like that, you can buy these games out of Game Pass discounted. So even when you get like for example, I missed out on Lego City. I was supposed to buy it for my daughter, but I forgot to buy it when it was in the expiration month. I could have purchased it at a discounted rate while it's on Game Pass. The thing is that the whole the quality, dude, classic people be like, oh, so now that let's say Jay-Z got what you would call it Tidal, his album's gonna be whack now.
I got that.
People gonna be dropping whack albums because their album's gonna be streamed and stuff like that. No, I don't believe this whole. Sure, the thing about Game Pass, it's home to video games, so you're going to have, just like Netflix has mid-tier shit, some whack shit, and then they have some amazing shit. Like it's going to be no different. PlayStation not having Game Pass isn't stopping whack games from releasing on PlayStation. PlayStation have some hitters.
PS Now is
they have some middies and they have some whack shit on there. And it's going to be the same thing with Game Pass. There's going to be some mids, there's going to be some whack shit on there, and there's going to be some hits on there. I don't think, to me, Gears 5 wasn't whack. Forza Horizon 4 was not whack. Ori is not whack. They launched on a Game Pass.
Smooth. Right, the thing here is that like the thing here is like
State of Decay 2 wasn't whack.
I don't know, like, but no. But I'm just saying, like, I mean,
it was.
No, like I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't for me. But like I'm saying, like what Smooth was saying, like it's just like it's good to have like a plethora of diversity, and it's just like, I mean, who knows? Like that game that you may hear is whack, you may really fuck with it. Like when you take like the popularity into consideration, you'll miss out on like a bunch of shit, and you'll just bandwagon jump all the fucking time. Like you need to be able to decipher and make decisions on your own. Like shit of a game, and like with these streaming services, like it allows more people to put their hands on these games or movies or music, and it allows them to hear it, to drive attention to later on titles down the line. Like you need to quit fucking just hopping on, oh, this is the popular thing, so I'm gonna just hop over here. Oh, they say this game is trash, so I'm gonna not even give the motherfucker a try. Like you gonna have your low grade shit. But I mean, for the most part, this generation, a lot of indies have blown me the fuck away compared to AAA games, and that's across all these fucking console. So like, I mean, I've had more the memorable experiences with indies than I've had with
absolutely
some of the titles that I have loved, like God of War or like Days Gone. I know like a lot of people hate Days Gone, but
Grips, when you get a chance, look at my freaking my achievements, and you probably won't recognize a lot of these games where all these achievements came from, bro. But like,
but you do it for padding, achievement.
Bro, hey, no, but some of these games I actually enjoy. Like that game Redeemer I was playing that one month. Like, I thought that was pretty dope. Shit was like a top down God of War.
Hold on, man. Chris trying to act like he ain't got that platinum for Iron Bread. Come on, man.
You know, nah, don't. You can look at my platinum. My platinum is on meaningful. I got meaningful platinum.
Hey, look, I got it. You know,
but I do want to get out of here soon. But no, this has been.
Hold on. I want to bring up one thing real quick with the whole Phil Spencer interview. One thing that I did like what he said is the whole thing with xCloud. We forgot to talk about that.
Yeah. I
like how. Too. Yeah. Real quick, I like how he pretty much said that pretty much what they're focusing with xCloud is just like an option, like a supplementary option, and that they're still focusing more on like, the hardware in the console, and that xCloud is not something that to replace the actual hardware Xbox, which is good news. At least not for
narrative.
Right, at least not for now, exactly. Because I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, oh, they're focusing so much on xCloud that they're gonna kill off the console. But I'm glad he said that. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, but I know like a lot of people run with the fear, and so like a lot of people click on fearful shit.
But he do
click on
Fear mongering. Yeah, exactly. And then another thing, and this one I want to get at Smooth for. When they talked about the relationship with him and Platinum Games and the whole thing that happened with Scalebound,
Yeah.
right?
It
He
was definitely
said
something that.
that
Nah, that nigga
no,
lying,
no,
bro.
no.
Like that's just what it is. Like,
He
Yeah,
said he
he
has
said
no
it,
ill. He says he has no ill will or animosity towards them.
mm-hmm.
which
Right?
makes me think
He
that he
still
did.
talks to them. All right. So Smooth, you need to stop slandering Platinum
Nah,
Games and
man.
shit like that.
Nah. We
All right?
He
definitely
was
gonna stop
being nice.
slandering them. Like that's one thing.
Phil is a nice guy, and he's gonna take the nice way. That's why he said that first. Because he
the
really wanted to
cordial
smack
way.
the shit out of one of them. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
man.
like I swear,
Yeah.
like I'm not going.
Shout out to John
I'm
Mark.
not gonna go that far, but I'm saying, like, I mean, shit, if you see that man in the hallway and ain't nobody there, he gonna get at him. Like that's what I feel.
Phil got
like,
bodyguards, so it is what it is, fam.
John Mark says, "Don't forget these games run at native 4K on Game Pass."
yeah, they do.
Okay.
You
Right.
just said it, but I peeped the Platinum thing because I didn't think he was gonna ask about that, but I think what Ryan really wanted to get out of that is somebody else making Scalebound.
Scalebound. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He talked about. Remember, he talked about Rise and Sunset Overdrive and and whatnot. But I don't know. Like, I mean,
but did you notice, Smooth? You notice what he said? He said they're not working on it either, and he's not in that studio. But he doubt if they working on it. Because he don't. Do we still have the IP? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why would he even say
there
that?
was rumors. There was a lot of
Right.
There was rumors that kept coming out that Scalebound was coming back and Platinum was trying to buy it and stuff like.
He said that they wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
like
he
them
don't
meaning as
know
in
if they working
Microsoft, but
on it.
also
Like, why would
Platinum
you
wasn't
even
doing
say
nothing.
that?
So like, I mean, they need to just let that shit die. Like, quit trying to bring that fuck that damn game, bro.
Ryan
the jump was not hot, bro.
Ryan should have. Ryan asked about Perfect Dark because he that's the reason why
he
that's the
Perfect
game
Dark,
he's looking forward to. And then he should have asked about Fable though. He should have.
Oh my god, he didn't ask about Fable.
He didn't. But
because he didn't have enough time.
I think Ryan. That means man. Ryan knows something about Fable, man.
Phil probably told him, "Hey, it's like, hey, don't ask me about all these other games."
I think he already probably figured it out.
I think
we're gonna show something.
But even Rand already.
Knows
like, I mean, I'm telling you. Like,
here's the thing, though. One thing he did say is that they got so much stuff to show in between, like now and launch. He said they're going to be talking about things, obviously, in the summer and after, in between lunch and whatnot. That they're going to be talking about things. They have a lot of stuff to show and a lot of stuff to deliver. Right. He said it's the reason why at the Game Awards they didn't just show the Xbox Series X. They showed the game with it. They showed Hellblade 2. And remember,
like y'all got so much stuff, you might as well just blow it up.
And remember, Hellblade 2 was originally going to be for XO, but they put that and they used Everwild from Rare.
Yeah,
and they used Everwild for XO. They used the Hellblade for the Xbox Series X reveal at the Game Awards. And I'm trying to think. And then obviously Ninja Theory did the whole Project Mara thing. And so pretty much we need to hear.
Ray tracing.
Yep, we need to
hear.
So
what did he say, Smooth? He said that it's going to be he don't even know when it's going to be an event where they don't announce a game. I was like, whoa.
No, but even he also said when it came down to release games, when consoles drop and release games, it's not preferable or it's not very good to drop with like 100 titles just like out the gate. Yeah. Like just the way like Sony did, like you slow feed this, like you make sure that every game that you drop is so damn good that like it's a must have. You feel me? So it's like if you just kind of drop, like you dropping like 5-10 titles and then you have nothing else to drop for like some years, that's bad shit. Like, so you need to make
pick them off like a sniper, man. You gotta
exactly. Remember, so like he needs to drip feed release stuff, and I feel that's what they're doing. Yeah. So like they're not just like dropping everything at once, and then they have nothing else to talk about.
Remember,
he's smart, bro.
They got a ton of games coming out, even though they're gonna close out the Xbox, the Xbox 1 year with like some stuff. But they're like, for example, you had March, the early March, you had Ori, right? Late March, you had Bleeding Edge, and April they're doing Gears Tactics, but
Yeah,
even that's gonna be on
Gears.
PC, but it's it's gonna have some Game Pass love. In May you got Minecraft Dungeons, which people are calling that a low key like Gotti contender.
Yeah, shit, I'm trying to play
Yeah,
that.
Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft
Dungeons.
that's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be in
definitely
May.
download that.
And
Fire.
and then the Tell Me Why game from Don't Nod, that's
Yeah,
supposed
that's
to be June or July. Well, I don't know if they're going to be facing delays, obviously, but that is an episodic game.
Oh, you talking about the one from the
Don't
creators
Nod,
from?
people.
Yeah, it's
Tell me why.
Tell Me Why. It's an Xbox IP. It's going to be one of those games. So, like, I mean, I like Life is Strange. I didn't really care for
Life is Strange. Yeah, that's.
but it's in that I could deal with it. But I got my own like preference of what makes me want to play it or not. I think it's going to be about something that I'm not really rocking with, and that's what I hold reservations for it. Like it just personal. Like I just don't want to fall into that trap.
Yeah, I get it.
So it depends. If they try to sell me on that bullshit, I might pass it along. But so you got Tell Me Why. And then you obviously have Flight Simulator that still has to come out. You have Grounded. You have that whack ass Battletoads, and then you have obviously Halo Infinite, and then Forza is supposed to be lurking. And then the other publishing deals they have with Xbox Publishing Studio, that's third party exclusive that aren't made by Xbox, but they'll be publishing. We'll see. So 2020 is a packed year. 2021 is going to be very interesting. I just hope for the betterment of like the world, the earth, us as people, that this thing gets under control and we can get back to our life as some sort. And so that
hopefully the Antichrist don't show up.
Chris know what it is.
Right, because people are dropping like flies.
Non-tail Fox comes out of nowhere.
I was just thinking about that, but nobody say the name. Man.
No, you know what it is, but
that's why I can't see how Death Grip's playing Division, man.
Death Grips is ready, man. He's getting ready.
I mean, like, I don't let like this stuff kind of like affect me like that. Like, you look at the road and like Last of Us and shit like that. Like, you know how grimy human beings can get, but at the same time, like we've like throughout history, like we've always had something occur that has taken out like a good number of people.
Yeah, it happens
like
every 100 or so years.
Like it happens
pandemic.
Like every once in a while, and then we'll have a story to tell.
So I'm saying
we'll have a story to tell our kids and shit like that. Be like, yeah, this is that one time that a fucking virus broke out and killed a bunch of people. It's just like that's this.
Got lots of stories, man. .com bubble, housing bubble, 08.
Yeah, like I mean, pandemic. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit we go through that a lot of people forget that we've been through, and it's just like this is. Some shit's is happening.
Yeah, but nothing ever like this. I mean, the earth is like shit, like shut down. Like we got no sports. Like I'm watching wrestling, ain't nobody there. Dude's wrestling with nurse gloves on.
my thing is, look,
Jimmy Kimmel and them getting exposed. Last year, ain't really funny without an audience. And,
like last year, right?
Stop it.
I seen how the virus is affecting Asia and Europe, right? And I'm like, if it spread out here, there's huge implications of the virus coming out here to the United States, and like if we didn't contain it, like it's not contained, all we can do is just slow it down by doing social distancing and then come out with a vaccine. So like this anybody that was a three-dimensional thinker could have seen this happening if the United States were on top of it, and like seeing that they weren't closing down international airports and banning travel earlier than what they did, like this is to be expected.
But you know what's funny about people saying that though? Look at the numbers worldwide. Like, you really think we would be the only ones that would be handling things a lot better than everybody else? Well, everybody else still got work.
No. If you were a risk assessor, right? If you were a risk assessor, you would have understood what it would have taken to mitigate this type of virus in the United States ahead of time if you're progressive with it and understanding, because they were downplaying it, like they were saying, it only affects old people, young people doesn't matter, right?
Like,
look at the state of Florida, right?
I get that, but like, look at everywhere else though. Look at the
Yeah,
other
it's
countries,
just
is
like
what I'm
comparing
saying.
to other places
Like,
are handling this a lot better than we are. And it's just
really?
like how we proclaim to be like the front runner and like the big
I
bad. And
don't
it's just
know,
like
man.
this
I
shit
mean,
is
I'm not.
whipping our ass.
I
I
mean,
don't
And
know
it's
about
like,
all
it's
that.
warping
definitely
the.
whipping our ass.
It's
Our
warp.
numbers definitely ain't
It's whooping.
worse.
It's whooping the Earth's ass. Like here's the
Yeah,
thing.
the whole
Here's the
nah,
Earth.
but
thing.
look at here compared to
Without.
other places.
Yeah. Well.
It
Yeah.
ain't
Well.
looking too good.
Well, no. Actually, that's not actually true.
That's not true. That's what I'm
How would
saying.
if you
Y'all,
if we're gonna go based off the numbers, right? We got the most cases. That's because we did the most testing. Like that's
Exactly.
one thing to consider. The more tests that's going to be out there,
Yeah.
the more cases that's going to be confirmed. There's just no way around it.
Because there's
So
people who have it but aren't showing
yeah,
symptoms.
there's still
Right.
think
no,
about the amount of
like
people
the
that
thing
hasn't been
is
tested,
that
and then you
other
also got to
places are
consider.
doing more tests than we are. The
No,
thing
that's
is
not.
No,
If that was the
no,
case,
no,
then
no,
the
no,
numbers
that's
would be a
not
lot
how
true.
our
different.
system is, we don't have enough, or like
Do you
people can't
believe?
afford to test.
Do you believe?
And so, like, that's
Do you
the
believe
problem.
China only had like those?
No,
many cases?
China. No,
Do you believe that?
China had either double or triple the cases
Yeah.
that they confirmed.
Yeah, and
So,
quadruple
like,
the deaths.
That's the point.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what we was
The
trying to say.
numbers are screwed or
Yeah.
is skewed a little bit. But with us, right? My point is, if we had the proper people in place that understood the situation better,
Yeah.
that were in charge of risk assessment and understanding how it was affecting other nations, we could have got on top of it in
Oh,
January,
absolutely.
even December.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
But
smooth.
no,
Like
Absolutely, but
break
listen,
down.
and it's like
it's
how
kind
our
of hard.
systems are implemented. Like they're not here to benefit like the lower mid class people. Like they're not gonna benefit those people.
Yeah, of course.
So that whole crash and like how our society is built, like it's gonna hurt because it's hurting those people who can't afford to
Yep.
get these services. So like
Yep.
that's how that works. Like these other places, yeah, maybe their numbers are kind of skewed and everything, but how we think over here, it backfires on us a lot of the time because we
Depends, because
think we're untouchable, or we think we're a bully, or
it sheds a light, because there was an article that came out about a month ago, and it said that the majority of Americans don't even have 400 in savings, which
What?
isn't surprising, because
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at the way
I
the
believe that.
2008, everything leading up to 2008 and now housing crisis, people will overextend themselves living check to check anyways,
Yeah.
getting houses they can't
Yeah.
afford. So it's no surprise to me to see how people didn't learn from that situation to be in a situation financially where they can sustain
Yeah.
a loss like this. Like me, I have
but getting an
I have a
apartment
significant
over
amount of
here is
savings.
like fucking the hell. Like it's like when you're in these poor situations, and it's just like, I mean, because I have people who are in those situations, like you see it differently and you pay attention differently because you have to adapt and you have to live in a certain way that these middle class, upper middle class people, they don't even have to think about that shit. They don't even have to consider it. So like when you're living like that, like the whole survival thing, it's different to us.
I mean,
Like
but it
it's different
depends.
to people like that.
It varies, because it's all based on the individual doing their due diligence and doing the research and understanding what happened in the past so that they can prepare for themselves in the future.
Yeah.
Like that's
most
not
people
going to
in
help
most
a person
wages,
like
you
who's
can't
living check to
you can't
check,
really
or
live
like
off of most like
yeah,
most
when you
people.
have like
You
impoverished
can't live. You
places
can't
and
live
shit
by
like
yourself
that.
with
I
like
understand
most wages.
impoverished.
You
I
know what I
understand
mean?
impoverished places, like that's a given, right? But let's say we got the 22-year-old that's still living at parents with he's still living at home with his parents, right? He has a job, he has no bills to pay. It should be easy for him to save money.
Nah,
Easy.
like they still have bills to pay.
Yeah,
No, but
Like
like,
it's
all
very
right,
easy to save money.
compared
it
to
is
the
helping out
30-year-old.
their parent with bills. Like I mean,
Exactly.
that's still
Well,
bills to pay.
exactly. Like Jay said, compared to the authority, like me, like you know, I have rent plus I have a car payment, car
Hmm.
insurance, and then my dog, and then my girl, and all that stuff. It's
Yep.
very hard for me to save a whole bunch of money
Yep.
and stuff like that, especially with these wages that we get now. Like most people live off of most of the wages that we earn, unless you're like making, unless you have like a high paying career, making like $20
Yeah,
or plus
like
an hour.
you got some good
Most
money.
people, you have to live with somebody else. But I want to go back to like the whole thing was like this whole, the C-19, like because the epidemic started around December, right, in
No,
Asia.
it was before that.
Well, yeah, they're
Technically, it
saying
started
before that, but
Yeah.
yeah, like no, well, let's just say November, right? Let's just say November, right? Like 5 months ago, the way this thing has just been spreading around the world in like within 5 months,
Yeah.
it is crazy and it is unheard of.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had something like this aside from like like back in the day with like Spanish flu. So this was kind of hard to determine. Like yes, they could have been better prepared for this, and yes, they should have paid a lot more attention to this and gave it more seriously.
Yeah.
Because
right.
If we look at it like we've had scares like this before, like in our lifetimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how old everybody else is, but I'm about to be 31.
Mm-hmm.
We've had stuff like Ebola,
SARS,
mad cow and stuff like that. So
anthrax and stuff like that. Yeah,
right. But none of them ever got out of control. Like they didn't. You have scares and stuff. Like I remember a couple years ago with the Ebola, everybody was scared of Ebola.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But this is a different beast. This is like really going around and it's really affecting a lot of people, even people that I don't know anybody right now personally in my immediate circle, but you have people like Fame2K who I see all the time on Twitter.
Fame T, that's my brother.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
shout out.
Like a whole bunch of other people that I interact on Twitter or see on Twitter a lot that's within the community.
Yep.
They have it. So that's what letting me know. It's like, yo, this is how serious it's gotten.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Crazy how
but it's just like it shouldn't like what I'm gonna say on is just like something shouldn't have to happen like close to you or like personally for you to take heed to something. Like that shouldn't be like you should just be
unfortunately
I know,
that's true.
I know. It's just saying I'm just saying like for me, like when I hear shit that's happening around the world, like I just don't take like a blind eye to it and be like, oh shit, I'm in America, fuck it. Like you need to be aware.
A lot of people do.
It's just like so many people they have to wait until their own family members or friends are dying.
That's why people are reacting. Yeah, it's crazy. But no, you're right, Definitely.
That's true.
In a perfect world, what would happen is soon as China was informed, like, hey, they had a problem. If they would have if they ban travel out of the country and stuff, and let the World Health Organization know that so they can communicate, so they can communicate with all the other countries, it could have been stopped, done, and it would never been to this point.
Right.
But they tried to cover it up, and they waited until January to start telling the truth about it.
Somewhat and they still didn't tell the whole
truth. And they still didn't tell the whole thing.
A lot of people didn't know until March. Yeah. That's the crazy part about it.
And the thing is, we were taking the advice based off what they were gave us. Oh, only old people, existing health conditions and stuff like that.
Still is a lot.
And then like, but if you have like we have the resources, like we have some resources to where like we should have been able to diagnose and tell like what the real deal was, even if they weren't going to be straightforward with us.
No, we did know. It's just that we didn't take action ahead of time.
No.
But also like we're
get back to what Smooth was saying though, y'all. The problem is they wasn't telling the whole story, and they still aren't. That's why people didn't take it.
If you do
but people should take it serious anyway.
No, now you're lying to me. If you're not telling me the whole story, I can't really. I'm gonna take it just like the H1N1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it like it's this. I'm gonna take it like it's that because you're not giving me all the facts, and they're still not.
There was very few people in the media, independent and from major. No, I'm telling you,
can't use that as a.
No, I'm telling you, there were because I was watching the news. I was reading a lot of articles during November, December, January, February, leading up to this point, right? Doing all my research on this because I wanted to know exactly what the situation was overseas. How this can affect my money personally, because I'm well invested into this personally, on top of having new products come out, because I'm looking forward to a lot of new tech that's coming out. So how's manufacturing going to be affected, right? How's jobs going to be affected to this as well, because everything's outsourced outside of America.
Yep.
All these manufacturing jobs are in Asia. So if Asia's crushed by this, it affects us heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact that I did my research. No, I'm not. No. I'm just agreeing with Smooth heavily because they're spoon feeding us what's really going on when they already knew. And if they would have told us everything,
there were a couple of people out there that were telling the entire truth.
Yeah, but they're trying to shut their ass up. Understand is But what you got to understand is they always saying shit. Yeah. So nobody's going to take them.
What set my alarms? What set my alarms was in February when they said that there was this one doctor, right? Mm-hmm. She came on the news and she said there's only 100 testing kits in California. I said that's when I knew we were fucked. If we only have 100 testing kits in California and there's those densely populated areas in like San Francisco, LA, 100 testing kits in like January, it was a wrap.
The first soon as they had that issue, here's the proper protocol. As soon as they had the issue in Asia, they should have suspended like travel to and
from Asia and Europe
and Europe,
right?
And then once it hit New York, they should have shut down subways and shit like no travel to.
They didn't do that.
They should have done an instant quarantine because they didn't do that. And then right now you go outside because it's spring, it's bright, sunny. People still out there jogging and sucking up air and fucking living their lives, which is fun.
The thing is, what I was agreeing with Coke Boy was just that you have to be able to dig through information. Don't make up information. You have to be able to decipher information. When it's delivered to you, you need to be able to tell, okay, this is what this is what that is. That's why in these gaming streets, comprehension is at an all-time low. So like that shit is just like, so when when you're going to the gaming community, then you're going to worldview type shit. I know that like a lot of these dudes, they wouldn't understand.
They don't understand it. They don't understand
it's like
worldview.
That's true, but think about it like this. But you got to understand when you're used to getting these same outlets. I'm gonna use a better analogy.
What's up?
Let's use inside.
Like you botting up, bro.
Yeah, you botting a little bit, Nick.
And always give.
Now he
Nick, can you hear us?
In and out. You're cutting in and out.
Nick, can you hear us?
Nah. All right.
Yeah, he just.
Yo, Nick, we can't hear you because this thing is super botting.
Yeah, but I mean, like I get what everybody's saying. I definitely Desperate has a great point. You should definitely take things seriously and look into stuff. But the fact of the matter is, most people don't. Most people don't. Everybody.
I know.
Most people don't. You know what I mean? And that's
look at all these folks dying. Look at all these kids dying, and it's like most people don't streets and shit. Like you see, like in other places, as I do photography too. In other places, I know photographers like who shoot photo. Their shit's empty. You want to know whose streets be full of people? Fucking American places. Like you had kids trying to go out and still do spring break shit, knowing that niggas was dying. So then when kids started showing up in fucking hospitals and shit, then they're like, oh man, guys, don't do it no more, guys. Like you could get it too. Duh, stupid.
You know, like, Florida is just now doing a shutdown.
Yeah, they're just now doing a shutdown.
doing a shutdown.
And remember, you got these idiots.
You
had these idiots doing the Corona challenge, licking toilets and shit.
Exactly. Stupid shit.
Stupid, man.
Yeah, but a lot of those people that were on like beaches of Florida, a lot of them were like out of town tourists and stuff like that. But the thing is like, most people don't look past the headline, right? Most people live in ignorance. There's a scripture in the Bible where it says, My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
like, that's that privilege shit. That's that privilege shit.
Yeah, that's privilege America.
I'm pretty sure you guys seen that video with those kids talking about it's not a big deal. They trying to blow it out of proportion. Yeah. And then a couple days later, CNBC released an article talking about how a whole bunch of those kids from Florida got coronavirus, tested positive and everything. Yeah.
Here's what I think, honestly, and then I'll cut the podcast off after this. I think what happened was, remember that big ass protest in China that was going on, and NBA did something, and then they got shut down.
Hong Kong protest.
I think that shit was like something to shut, like the stop the damn protest, and then they just got out of hand. But that's all I'll say. That's my conspiracy things going on.
Oh man! But that book that came out in the '80s, did you see that? It was on. I'll send the link to y'all. It was like this book. It was like a nonfiction book, but it was a book talking about
the Wuhan.
The Wuhan 400. right?
Yeah.
It's a virus that came out of Wuhan, right?
Yeah.
And they called it the Wuhan 400 and stuff
Yep.
like that. And talking about that, then boom, right? 30 years later, there's a virus that
Yeah.
came out
People
that came out of Wuhan. It's crazy.
in the European company did a patent a coronavirus vaccine in 2014, cashed out in 2019. But that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, but thank you guys for watching. I didn't mean for that last 30 minutes of this whole talk. It's just every time we mention it, it's gonna explode. But thank you guys.
But they are holding. They are well, one thing, they are holding stuff back from us. But
Absolutely.
I think a lot of it is because they just don't want people to overly freak out, which people already are. But you know what I mean? Because if they give us like the real numbers, you know how many people are going to start freaking out?
Oh, dude, this is gonna be a wrap.
Yeah.
Like you already know, like how these people are just gonna be like acting like you throw one tiny little wrench into somebody's life. Those people who are privileged, like fucking Jared Leto, like he was on fucking vacation and he didn't even know that this was happening. That's how privileged some people are, is that they think that certain shit can't touch them. And it's just like, this can touch anybody. Yeah. Coronavirus has always been around. This is just a different strain of coronavirus. This is something we've never encountered before.
Disconnect from
reality. That's why they called it COVID-19, is because coronavirus covers a spectrum of strains of viruses. Some we have vaccines for, some we do not. This one we do not have one for.
Yeah. I think they just don't want to tell us it's airborne. That was what I was going to drive it to, but
I mean, motherfuckers coughing and spitting in your face. I mean,
and the old people and all that, like all of that stuff is alive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we need to get off this.
Right.
But thank you guys for watching Planet Xbox episode 9. We'll be back here next Wednesday. Hopefully with even more news and content. Make sure you guys follow me on YouTube, Mixer, and also Twitch. I just got affiliated last night. You can sub to my Twitch channel. I have been streaming there as well.
Congrats, Smooth.
Thanks, Def Grips. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the show. I know the YouTube sub boxes are broken, so a lot of our viewership has been down for the past 2 weeks. But hopefully you guys all catch it on demand. I appreciate you guys all stopping by with your likes, your comments. It's been a pleasure. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. You guys have a good night or a good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here. Peace.
Xbox.
Peace.
Peace out.